Welcome to another Let's Play series. Yes, so as normally here on the server, if a new player comes online, yeah, it's also good to ask if that person needs help or any information he needs about the server or whatever. And yeah, a new player came on and started to building some stuff and asked for some help. And I want to show you what I did. So here's the work in progress house. I'll give it to her later, because it's not finished yet, but it's a good starting point. But I was asked that we have also some extra entrance here, maybe hidden entrance or something, since there are already a few doors, and that's what I want to do with you. Looking at the area here, so then we would need to come out here somewhere. We need some secret activation mechanism. I think this block is common, so I can reach it from inside, but also from outside. So maybe replace this with let's say node block, for example. Barely different, and then maybe we can do some sticky pistons. So, which normally, but they need to be one further, and then extend it on default. Something like that. We have now this node block in here, and with an observer pointing down here with a right click. This gives off a pulse, powering this. We're not further yet, and we have the pistons all extended. There's like a torch here and the same here, powering both pistons. So we just need to power this block here, and then yeah, both pistons should retract. Now the pulse goes into a pulse extender with two comparators, and this signal is taken out and put here to the torches, which power the four pistons, so that if we click now on here after a short delay, we get the pistons moving. So now I put in the blocks as well. It's now easy to click, walk inside, and it closes the same. So I will present it to her. I hope she likes it. She likes the door, but she would like that it stays open for a longer time, and also that it reacts faster. So the delays are too big here. We have a look here down here. So indeed, we have the observer. We have a delay here. We can reduce that, and then we have this clock here. I think we can fit in another set of so that could make this timing a bit longer, and then we don't need this maybe. Okay, I had to put this on 4 ticks so that it has enough time that this is completely powered. If it's just a short pulse, and this pulse will just go around in circles, and it's a clock. But apart from that, it seems to work now. Whoops. And the pulse should be considerably longer now. Let's test it. It opens up and closes. So she's fine with the timings now, but she said that she's worried in case of monsters coming here, that there's enough time for the monsters to follow her into the house. So what we can do here is, you probably know this trick already, we dig a hole, like so, and put a sign here and put a carpet on top. So all the mobs, monsters, villagers, they don't see the carpet, so they will follow if someone is running here, but they will not continue as soon as the person walks over this carpet. Because they can't see the carpet, they will see that it's going down, and they will not walk inside that. It's very important not to use any trapdoors or anything down there. String is okay, or a sign, but this is also one way to prevent monsters from walking into certain areas. So, back in the storage room. Yeah, this whole area has served me well over the whole years of playing Minecraft. But also I have seen quite some of the downsides, so I was thinking of maybe creating a completely new system. Yeah, and the existing system yeah, has some downsides which I want to get rid of in the new system. So this one, for example, here is like a batch working sorting system, so it's not constantly sorting at the moment, so I have to press the button. But then normally it creates a lot of lag. So I would like, of course, to have a new system which causes maybe less lag, but also is continuously running. And if it's continuously running, then it maybe also can run a little bit slower. This also should help the lag situation. There's also a lot of clicking and ticking because yeah, of the droppers here at the moment, and of course I would like to have a new system as well that is completely silent. Yeah, and also what I can't really do is, for example, if I want to, let's say, build a railroad track, I have to take stuff out manually, and then I go to the project site, and maybe sometimes I forget some stuff, and or I don't pick enough resources, and I have to come back. So what I would like to do as well is have like a shulker box instead of a rail, a normal chest, and then I can pick the whole thing and take it with me. So that would be really helpful, I think, to have use out of the portability of the shulker box. I also think that here I have to walk quite a bit. I would like to reduce that even more, to compactify it a bit more, to have everything close by. And also a problem is, and that is the last one pretty much, is that I have this overflow chest here, for example quartz. And if I look into quartz here, yeah, for example here I forgot to reserve an additional slot for quartz. So I have to manually do this all the time, because this system, of course, is using slot reservation. So every slot needs to be filled, and then this is leading to inefficiencies. For example, here I have 2 slots for trap chests, but actually I could just have 1, the same for torches. But yeah, I have to fill them up, and then yeah, if it's not a perfect allocation of slots, then yeah, every now and then I have something in the overflow chest, and need to sort it manually. So the new system should have also ideally no slot reservation. Ideally also when sorting happens, if I start this here, then everything is clicking and ticking. Ideally in the storage system only these parts are active where actually an item is traveling around and not like a global. I'm in a creative world now. I've played around with some of the concepts. So what I would really like to have is something like a big menu, like so, where I just see, let's say, categories of items, and each of these categories here would maybe represent one shulker box. And for example, if I drop this here, then would like to have that the system is getting quickly the shulker box with redstone, and puts the redstone shulker box next to the menu, and then also puts back the redstone here so that the menu is active again. And for these boxes I would like to be able to have various different items inside here without slot reservation. And if I break it, then of course this box needs to go back into the system. But also I would have to have like a storage chest. So for example, if I put in some more stuff, and this shulker box is somewhere far away, and then of course this needs to be automatically sorted into the right shulker box as well, with this shulker box having 3 spots. With such a system that is menu or key item based. So this is what it's my first attempt here, and everything here is what I show you is a bit of a prototype at the moment. It's just playing around in creative on what is possible and what is not possible. Okay, let me just quickly press this here. So what you would need to have imagine here is there's a water stream here, for example, like a water current, bringing back the items that fall down. So for example, here we have this one shulker box here in the system, and now we want to call it from menu. So this is the key item here, which we have like in this menu, and for example, if we drop this now, it should break the box as well as the key item to find the shulker box. Then afterwards, maybe I put back the shulker box and want to have it stored in the system. This is this button here. And this shulker box then should find its right place here again. And alongside with it goes a key as well on that the shulker box knows on where to go in the system. So this seems working fine. It's too wide, tileable, and it's quite a bigger build, maybe in comparison to other storage or search solutions. For me, though, it's also anyhow intended as like an endgame storage system. It's gonna be, if we look into down here in the other modules, it's gonna be a bit of a costly, material-wise, a costlier system to set up. So it's not at the beginning or medium, like if you just played 100 hours in Minecraft, then it's not maybe ideal, then it's maybe better to go with regular chests. But this kind of advanced system I think is good for endgame, for players who have a lot of shulker boxes, who have a lot of iron, who have a lot of wood, and can construct something like this. So the way it works, we have for this two tiles here, two wide, is dealing with one shulker box. So the first slot here is having the key item inside for the menu. So if we, let's say this is a menu, or in this case the box, if we drop this item, then this will flow along here and fall in. And with a little bit of a mechanism down here, getting the signal down, 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 up, and here powering this piston to break the shulker box. But this only happens if the shulker box is there. If the shulker box is there, it's getting broken. We know that if a shulker box is here because of a comparator, which is here. And this is basically also the second method here. If we have a shulker box, which for example has this as a key, then we will define that this key also needs to be at the first place of the shulker box. And that means when we put back the shulker box into the system, we can take out the first item, which is the key, and then we know also and find the right spot again on where to put the shulker box. So maybe that was a bit complicated from explanation. I'll show what I mean. So if I press now this, then we have two things released. First of all, the key will come along, and then the shulker box itself will come along. If a key comes along without the shulker box being present, that means for the system that then the shulker box is going to follow, and that means then that the shulker box is going to be placed here. How that works is that we have the second hopper. So this hopper is getting the key, and this hopper is completely empty, and it's normally locked. So if a key falls in here now, and there's no shulker box down here, then this hopper will unlock for a period of time, awaiting the shulker box to come as well around. So let's see. So we should see the key. There's a key falling in, deactivating the torch with the shulker box inside. And the shulker box is then just put down, and the pulse is given to here into this to deploy it. That's pretty much it for the key calling a shulker box and putting the shulker box back into the system. Now I copied two of these modules here together. We have so two keys. One key is a dandelion and one key is redstone. So if we, for example, would want to have the yellow shulker box, which dandelion, we put from the menu, we put the dandelion inside. This should break this block. Of course, here we would have downfall with a water stream going as quickly as possible to the player. And if we would want to put the dandelion box back, we would the key, which is also contained in the box, we would have the key followed by the box itself, putting the dandelion back in place. So this is just showing the two tiles. And also we have a sorting system here, a very basic one. Unfortunately, this one, all spaces have to be, the slots have to be reserved, which is not done here. Okay. Let's do that real quick. So this is an redstone, ice, and some other stuff. And if we have, let's say, we can now start dropping these things inside. This is a very simple system which is attaching to the shulker boxes with a dropper, trying to press this item into the shulker box, and if it doesn't, it just moves to the next module. It's silent. It's also tileable. So we should see here, yeah, so all the wood comes in here, and slowly, for example, here the torches should end up here. If we had torches here, I can't remember. Yeah, we had torches, okay. It's a random process, of course, here with a dropper. So 2 more torches came in, and here's the leftovers. So it's a quite good, I like this system already enough that I would or could build it. Quick request of shulker boxes and putting them back in the system. It's also working, and then we have this silent storage sorting system. So this is already, yeah, like I said, a very good solution. It takes quite some resources per shulker box, but yeah, if going so far anyhow, I was thinking of, can we not do it better and get rid of this slot reservation, at least inside the shulker box? And I think we can. I've seen, this is based on a tutorial made by Shaldi Freak. I will provide the link in the description, and it allows, for example, here it's also slot reservation. I modified it already. It's a bit slot reservation. For example, this is taking node blocks. So if I and we have to imagine here that our shulker boxes are down here. Now let's take these items out. So this is now programmed for node blocks, and let's see which one is this one. This one is also for node blocks. That's a bit double. Let's put here something else. Stripped oak. So we have 16 stripped oak here, and let's also put 16 notebooks here. Just so if now an item goes in here which is not programmed, let's say I put in here an observer, then we saw flickering here and a flickering here, and yeah, the observer is not sorted, so it ends up in this overflow chest. But if the item is programmed, let's try the node block here. The node block ends up down here, one node block, and also the same, the programming chest remains up here. So the beauty now is that we can define here multiple different items that we want to have in a specific key of for a shulker box, but we don't have to reserve the slots inside here necessarily. And the benefit is really here, for example, if we had, let's say, 2 items here, maybe here also, let's say hoppers, yeah. Oops, that was a mistake. But that then 2 items can flow in here, and regardless of the quantity, so I don't have to reserve slots. I think hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, but it's making the system quite a lot bigger here. This storage system here, which is on the right hand side of the shulker box here, the previous one is very small and compact, whereas this one, it is silent actually, just because I threw a bunch of stack inside here, then it's not like that, but we come to that. Yeah, so we have here the water stream going, where the keys are going to be. Pretty much it's the same water stream as this one and the one we've seen here. So, and then above the water stream we would have this system to program each shulker box. So the way the system works, also just short explanation, is an item comes through here and lands up in this hopper, which is locked, and this is measured because then the quantity is high enough to get an extra pulse, extra length of strength, and then short pulse is given to unlock this hopper. So if an item is in here, any kind of item, then the hopper is shortly unlocked, and if any of these items could go in here into this first slot, it will do so. So one item is pulled out. If they don't match, then the hopper can't pull anything because he's full already. So these 2 options we really have. And then Depending on the quantity, if it's just one item, then obviously nothing could be pulled, so it's the wrong chest. Or if there are 2 items in here, then obviously something was pulled and it's the right chest. So depending on the amount of items, we can then decide on if this is the right shulker box. When then the items travel down here and are split, the first item goes around here, and the second item, in case there is a second item, if not, nothing happens, goes to down here. So then the item goes up here, and it's try to put this into the chest directly. So we have some kind of slot reservation here. So if it cannot be put, then it's placed into this chest and it's moving to the next module. Alternatively, the key or the item ends up here again. So this is some kind of a reservation system. However, it really is just requiring 1 slot per item. For example, if I want to have also glass in this shulker box, 1 stack, 2 stacks, 3 stacks, I just need to program it once, and this shulker box then forever will take glass. Yeah, another feature I found which is quite good is that this this system can run on even when I remove the shulker box. So if I let's say break it, then the sorting can still happen. Sorting can happen, and items can come here and they will be buffered here. So even if I run around with my shulker box of redstone, for example, and maybe some torches get sorted into the system, it will just wait here. And when I put back my shulker box, it will be deployed here, and then the items flow immediately in here. Yeah, one thing is, though, what I noted is like a complete overflow. For example, if you, for example, this chest is now full, imagine, then of course then the items start buffering up here, which is okay. So when you then start using these items, they just flow to your shulker box. But if you, let's say, have 100 stacks more, then at some point of time this buffer will be full as well, and this can cause problems here because items cannot flow anymore as they should. So it's one thing to keep an eye out at the moment, at least, is that you don't create like a total, or that I don't create a total overflow. A few items is buffered, but if it's 100 stacks, that's too much. But of course, this can also be, I guess, somehow be fixed. I haven't thought about it yet, but we can, for example, measure here the content, for example, of these chests and stuff, and then when this is too full, and then we can raise a flag that there's a problem maybe in the storage system, maybe sound, maybe some light indication, or maybe we can even put a hopper here which is normally locked and get items out again for an overflow chest. But like I say, it should only be a problem if it's a massive overflow. So that's it at the moment for prototyping this, I would call it super storage system. I'm not done yet. I have to do more testing, and as well I have to also see that the very initial part, somehow that the menu works fine, but also that the shulker boxes are deployed next to the player somehow. I have to figure that out, and yeah, but it looks promising so far, and I hope to have this super storage at some point of time in my survival world. And I think that's also the next step, probably, to maybe do a little bit more testing here and then start building it in survival. Next up, yeah, I noticed that I don't really have any really good way of smelting a lot of stuff. So everything would take a long time, and or I have to manually place a lot of furnaces. So I was thinking of yeah, making a big furnace, forgery, blacksmith, kind of house with a little bit of redstone as well, of course, for a big smeltering processes. So, and I was trying to check the area here, which area I like, and I was thinking of maybe trying for the first time like a cliff house, because what I saw here, for example, there's lava here, and we already have also some natural lava here, and yeah, maybe make inside this too, maybe somewhere here, like a cliff house where lava comes through, and yeah, like an awesome looking forgery thingy, and then we can hide some, yeah, redstone later on somewhere down on the ground for a fast, like a big furnace array or something for big things to smelt. These are the materials I brought. I just brought some stone stuff. Lots of other stone. I guess the blacksmith forgery type build will be using this a lot, since lava is flowing and it only uses partially wood. And here are also some items I want to place down. I think iron is missing, but apart from that, some items which we can then later on use for decoration. First up, I try to lay some basic foundation. Where is the ground level? Where is the roof gonna go? So this could be a ground level, although I feel like we could go down a little bit more to make it really like a cliff house and not on top. So yeah, maybe lowering this a little bit. A little bit of framing added here. And yeah, like in the middle, lava would come out. And then I'm thinking about how to make the roof, either like this or like one big roof. Also, because just the middle section it would be too small, so I extended it a bit over here. Maybe we have another room here or something. And maybe even into the mountain a little bit. So a little bit more framing now. I'm trying to put on some roofs to get a basic shape going. Is there still some errors I have to check? And of course the cobblestone is also temporary only at the moment, but we're getting there. A little bit more decoration, and not completely happy yet with the roof. Let's have a look inside. So the plan is that the lava comes out here, goes around in a big pool, and then also falls down here. And yeah, I created another room here. It's connected actually to some natural lava. So I think I don't need much more space. I mean, I just need to decorate the stuff. I'm not so sure about these walls. I extra made all this light gray wool, but I think it's not looking good at all, especially with this other gray, so I maybe have to replace that as well. We are now a few hours later, and this is the house. Added some glass here. I think the roof now is okay, and like a little bit of a support column here, and let's quickly also look inside. Pathway may not completely be final. into the house, but I made it through this lake here, lava lake, and walking up a door. So yeah, I made this area here, which looks a little bit like as if there would be a mining activity ongoing, like so, with a bit of coal here in a box and like so. Then we have like a little living room now here, just with a furnace, something to put clothes on. I think very straightforward and simple. And torches here, and up here we have, yeah, the final lava flow around here, and then it's like a working area for the blacksmiths or whatever is working here. And yeah, then the lava flows out here and looks quite okay to me. I'm yeah, happy with the result, I guess. So what's now missing, of course, is a whole redstone of having like a super smeltery here somewhere. I don't know yet where to put it. Maybe I have a few chests here, and then have the redstone underground. So this is just the for the eye a little bit more pleasing here, the area where I would come then in order to drop the items to be smelted. But I think this is not for this time. This is maybe another episode. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you around.